for us, all I want is to wake up tomorrow and to walk into my salon.
Hi, welcome. Today we're doing Zoom Around Town, and our special guest is Bronwyn Parsons, owner of Willow and Wolfe Salon, located at 706 Capitola Avenue, right behind Gail's Bakery in Capitola. And we're so excited to have you. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well, hanging in there. How are you?
I'm good. Today's a nice sunny day. It's been really cloudy in town, and it's exciting to be able to come to work and do my Zoom meeting and be able to see the nice, bright, shiny sun.
I know. It's so nice. I have my back door open right now, letting some fresh air in.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you a few fun questions to get started.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2050 and Google still exists. What are you Googling?
First off, probably stuff about the weather, right? Like I wake up in the morning, I want to know what the weather's like. Hopefully by then we've learned how to clean our oceans and got rid of plastic. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be, I'm Googling more things about our local area weather. I want to Google maybe a local restaurant that I want to go to for brunch.
Nice.
If brunch is still around, hopefully.
Great. And what is something that most people don't know about you, but maybe they should know about you?
So I would say that, as you said, I'm the owner of Willow, and Willow and Wolfe is actually a very eco-conscious, friendly salon. We carry non-toxic beauty products, and we also are part of a beauty recycling program where we are actually able to recycle, I think it's 90 to 95% of all of our beauty waste.
Wow, that's awesome. That's super impressive. And most salons aren't like that, is that right?
No, so it's a exclusive program. I think there's a couple salons in town that do it, but it's definitely not something that every salon does.
Well, that definitely makes you unique. Good for the environment and good for your hair.
Definitely.
Is that all the type of services that you do, just hair, or tell me about what you offer at your salon, Willow and Wolfe?
So we only offer hair services as of right now. We consider ourselves a boutique salon, and so we like to specialize in a smaller number of services and just make sure that we're the best at what we do.
How long have you guys been around?
We opened in December of 2018, so we're still babies. We've only been here for like a year and a half.
Oh, wow. And so that one location?
Yes.
Awesome. That's great. And how many people work for you?
So it's me and my business partner, Shelby, and then we have 3 renters. So there's 5 of us at the salon.
Oh, very cool. And so right now you're not open, are you?
No, we're not open. We haven't been open since March 15th. We closed down. We actually closed down, I think, the day before California closed down, and we kind of did it preemptively as kind of in support of the safety for ourselves and of our clients and of our communities, really.
Mm-hmm. And what has it been like since you've been shut down? What have you been up to?
Well, as an owner, I am still staying very busy. We still are doing curbside product sales. So we have set up an online shopping cart, and all of the products that we carry in the salon are now available online through our website, and you'll be able to link that through here. So I'm still doing inventory. I'm still at the salon once a week doing product pickups. We have, if any of the listeners or viewers have ever been to the salon, they know that we're like a little baby jungle. So we have all the plants to take care of. So I've still been in there taking care of plants. And then I'm also in 3 programs right now. I'm in 3 mastermind programs.
Wow.
And so I've been staying very busy with classes almost every day for at least like 2 hours in class, plus, out of class homework and stuff.
Wow, well, you're definitely keeping busy. No shelter in place hasn't stopped you.
No, definitely not.
Awesome. Well, this is Bronwyn Parsons of Willow and Wolfe Salon in Capitola, and we're going to be right back after this commercial break and learn more about what makes her special. Thank you so much. Okay, we're back with Bronwyn Parsons of Willow and Wolfe Salon, located at 706 in Capitola, right behind Gail's Bakery. And this portion of the show, we're going to talk a little bit more exclusively on the current pandemic, COVID-19. So we heard from you during the before the break about what you were doing to stay busy, and you were talking about mastermind groups. So can you share a little bit about what the mastermind groups are and how it's helping you?
Yeah, definitely. So originally I was just in one, and it's a 6-month mastermind group about how to show up in your business as your authentic self and be able to really make the most of your time and really create the best business as Willow and Wolfe and as Bronwyn, the stylist behind the chair, that I could possibly create. So originally I was just going to do this 6-month program, and it's me and 5 other women from all over the United States, all hairstylists. And it's really a deep dive into our business. And it's been incredible to be a part of that right now, just covering everything that's going on. So I have these 5 other women to be able to reach out to and get their feedback on, to kind of be able to pivot the best way possible in my business, to be able to serve my clients to the best of my abilities. 2 heads are better than one, and I have 5 other ones. You know what I mean?
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah. And then the other 2 are just really short 4-week courses that actually came out because of COVID-19 in response to that. And one of them is the salon that Shelby and I have modeled our salon after. They're out in Connecticut, and they just have like a really amazing mission statement, and the way that they run their business is incredible, and they've scaled their business so fast that it's truly inspiring. So I'm taking one of their courses, and that's a little bit more technical work. So just keeping myself fresh with hair, right? So I don't go back in and I'm like, oh my God, how do I do a highlight? It's been 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
And then the other mastermind is kind of a little segue off the first one. So that's more discussing how to deal with the current situation and the current climate, and then also how to go back into the salon and be able to serve our clients to the best of our abilities and to them feel comfortable, right? Because coming back after this is going to be quite an adjustment for everyone.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think one of the things that you just said was so key is finding other people that you can collaborate with that are in your niche market. So as a hairstylist, you being able to be in mastermind groups with other hairstylists is amazing, so that you can collaborate and get ideas and be able to figure out how you can continue to be relevant even though you can't be open. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, how are you anticipating that the reopening is going to affect you? Like, what kind of things are you needing to make adjustments to?
So I mean, this is obviously only a guesstimate, because
Right.
we really have no idea what's going to happen. But what I am foreseeing is it's going to change how we function with our clients as like one-on-one, right? So like a lot of times we'll have like multiple clients in the salon. You have a client waiting, you have a client still finishing up, you maybe be double booking clients. And I just don't foresee that being able to happen. Also, I believe that we're probably going to have to all wear PPE, like personal protective equipment, whether that be like masks and gloves or whatever, and either having your clients come in and providing their own, or providing that for their client, for your client. And then also, we already, as an industry as a whole, the beauty industry, have very rigid sanitation and disinfection practices. And I really believe that this is just going to bump that up to be a whole other level. So there are things that my business partner and I will be putting in place to really ensure that everything that we do is to the highest standard of sanitation protocol.
Absolutely. I know I run Santa Cruz Core Fitness and Rehab and Integrative Wellness Center, and we touch people, you know, we do massage, corrective exercise, personal training, chiropractic, acupuncture. We have a physician. So our physician currently works in the ER as well. And so he's been educating us on the protective equipment, appropriate PPE, and we're still open. So we're wearing masks and gloves. And then today we're purchasing face shields. So the face shields don't, you know, they're exactly that, a shield, and they're easily cleaned with soap and water, but it's the mask and the shield, the double protective, kind of allows the mask to stay, you know, cleaner longer. And and so all those things I don't think are going to be unique to a healthcare facility. Like you're saying, I think as far as hair, you're very much in somebody's personal space. We also do thermometer screenings on their foreheads before they get in the door, and people are waiting in cars versus in the waiting area. So, I mean, I think people really want connection, and I think that they're getting it now on social media, but it's still very shallow, not shallow content-wise, but shallow, like not able to touch people. And I think they're really going to want to come back. I mean, I know I want to get my hair cut super bad.
My goodness. No, for sure. And the thing is like, I mean, you're still open, but like for us, all I want is to wake up tomorrow and to walk into my salon.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the only right now. And I understand the severity of the situation, and I understand that that's just not going to happen. And I am being as responsible as I can be as part of this community to shelter in place and do what I can to lessen my impact on the community.
Yeah, Friday they're going to be opening up certain states, and so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. And so this is a great opportunity as a business owner to really be on the forefront of the changes that need to take place and be ahead of the schedule and ahead of the game. So making sure that you're accessing the appropriate masks and attire. I know that Fab Labs is a local company in Santa Cruz, and I did an interview with them a few days ago, and they are definitely a great place to get PPE equipment. So check that out. They're affordable and they are really, really helpful. Also on Facebook, you might be able to get masks that people are donating. So I think that it may be a requirement. I'm kind of thinking it probably will be. One of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to start doing COVID antibody testing. So if you're healthy and you want to see if you've had it and been exposed to it, we'll be able to test you. And then that way it'll help people like you, Bronwyn, because then you'll know like who's coming to your salon who does have the antibodies for it.
Yes. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of weeks, but we'll be able to do that. And I'm really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So what are you doing for your marketing? How important is that for you? And what are the things that you're doing to I know that you had mentioned before we got started here, and I've seen it on social media, you've been doing some tutorials. So you want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I believe that marketing is everything right now. I believe that we're all going through a hard time. We're all having, difficulty showing up. And I believe that now more than ever, it's the most important to be able to show up for our clients and show them that we're still there for them. Even though we're not seeing them, we still care about them and about their well-being. And I believe that how we look and how we present ourselves has a lot to do with how we feel on the inside, right? So for hairstylists, like we make people feel good because we are able to bring out that beautiful soul that they have on the inside and let that shine on the outside, right? And unfortunately, we are unable to do that right now. So the best thing that I can do is share little tips and tricks on how I do what I do for them through video. So I've done a couple curling tutorials. I've done a couple little ones just like how to use the dry shampoo, what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like just, I feel like anything. I think it's the small things that make the biggest difference and let my clients know that I'm here for them and I'm just trying to stay connected in any way that I can.
That's awesome. I appreciate all the good advice and suggestions and recommendations that you have for people like me who get a haircut every 4 weeks. And I feel like my hair is short and I feel like I have like this long mane of hair. I need to get it
Yeah.
trimmed.
And that's the thing. It's like people aren't feeling like themselves.
Right.
So the best thing that I can do at this point is just come on here and let you know that I'm not feeling like myself either. And I did a wild thing and colored my own hair. So like, if you're going to do that, my blessings, like we're all having a time right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be having to make appointments for the color corrections that we're going to need because we tried to do it out of a box.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So what is the best piece of business advice that you have, received, and from who, and how has it helped you?
So the best piece of advice regarding like marketing or?
Yeah, I mean, if you have multiple, share, but like as far as marketing for sure, like what is one thing that you've learned? And then also just in business in general.
So as far as marketing goes, it is about being authentic and showing up as your true self. Like, obviously you want to stick to being on your brand, which everyone talks about being on brand and all this stuff. And I believe that creating a brand is really helpful. But also like being true to yourself. Like that's why I come on my Instagram sometimes and I talk about things that are important to me or things that I'm doing. And it has nothing to do with hair. Like I share companies that I love or businesses that I love, and it has truly nothing to do about hair. And yeah, I want my clients to know me, or potential clients to know me. And I think the best piece of advice for business is like, you gotta rock and you gotta roll. You know what I mean? There's gonna be ups and downs. And if you're a strong business, you'll make it through, and you'll be able to pivot. And we all have these choices to make. I'm lucky enough to have a business partner, so I can always bounce my ideas off of her. But for the most part, like everything that's come from our salon has been directly because of a choice that we've made. And our underlying choice is that we're going to survive this and everything else, and we're going to come out strong, and we're going to be standing here, and we're going to be able to provide non-toxic, eco-friendly services to our community.
No, that's so awesome. And it feels so good for you to hear that, for you to say that. Yes. Have you applied for any of the funding that's available for small businesses?
Oh my God. Yes. It's a mess. I just got a notice like 30 minutes ago that the second round of funding just came through.
Sure did.
Which is amazing. Because we've applied 3 times and have not heard anything back.
Where have you applied?
So we applied through the EIDL.
The EIDL loan?
Yeah, the EIDL loan. And we applied initially on the 15th. My oldest brother is in finance and deals with a lot of business loans and corporate loans. And so he was like, get in on this immediately. And so we did that. And for some reason that first loan application got kicked back and we had to apply with a completely different application.
Oh, wow.
So we applied again. And then we applied one more time with the application. So we applied 3 times, and we also applied for the PPP loan, which I don't think that we qualify for because we don't necessarily have employees. So we're still trying to figure that out.
So if there's new funding, I strongly recommend that you do apply for the PPP loan. Are you guys a corporation?
We're not. We're a general partnership.
Okay. So even as a general partnership, how do you guys get paid?
We don't. So the business is like a separate entity of us, and actually Shelby and I are renters of our salon. So no employees.
That's great. So you are basically a sole proprietor and you work for yourself, and so does Shelby. So what you can do is you can apply as a self-employed individual for the PPP loan. The way that they do it is they look at your total revenue for the year. So as a self-employed person, I have 44 employees, but I'm technically self-employed. So how it works is let's say you made $150,000 in revenue. You're this millionaire, you generated tons of money as a hairstylist, but your net profit was $150K. And that was at the bottom of your Schedule C. So you take that amount, you divide it by, it caps at 100,000. So you take 100,000, you divide it by 12, and you multiply it by 2.5. Then you take your medical and your dental, and you take it for the year, we're talking 2019, and you divide it by 12 and then multiply it by 2.5. So you have your medical and dental, and that includes premiums or any other out-of-pocket expenses. And then you have your net income. So your total net income for $100,000 at 2.5 months is about $21,000.
Yeah.
Plus, let's say you have $3,000 a month, which is a lot, but let's say $3,000 a month because you've got this premium medical coverage. So then that would be $7,500. So you'd have $7,500 plus 20,000, and that would be what you would qualify for the PPP loan. So I really, 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 really recommend you go and apply for it. Yeah. So I have 2 businesses. I run an Airbnb, and I also do Santa Cruz Core Fitness and Rehab. And so I was able to get the PPP loan for both businesses because even though I'm a sole proprietor, I have 2 separate businesses. So I was able to get money to help me with my Airbnb and pay my mortgage because it's in my own house, and then also help me to rehire my employees at Santa Cruz Core.
That's so smart. I'm going to share that with my girls.
Yes, sure. Please do. Everyone who is a sole proprietor, who rents their own place, who is a 1099, like I have a bookkeeper and he is 1099. And so as a bookkeeper, he has his own business. I have a billing business that I work with. They're applying on their own, and they both were awarded funds. So do not go to big banks. Okay. I am a proprietor at Wells Fargo, and unfortunately the list was so long that I didn't get through. So you can apply to as many different resources as you can, but only accept one per business. So I have a secret. The business that I went through was in Minnesota. They were super nice, and it was called Bank Vista. And I was able to speak to the vice president of lending of the bank, and I was able to get it so fast. And everybody that I've requested go there, they've been able to get it within 24 to 48 hours. So please take advantage of it and do it right away, because they have people who didn't get it, who are in their queue, and they've reached out to all those people. So tell everybody that you know that is a sole proprietor. And I've done a couple webinars already, and you can go to my website, jaimijansen.com, and you can also go to just YouTube and jaimijansen.com, and I talk about the difference between the 2 loans, and I talk about how it can help you. And then this next week, I'm going to do another webinar on Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's going to be about the forgiveness of the loans. The cool thing about the PPP loan is that it's forgivable up to 100% of it if you pay for the right things with the money. So as a sole proprietor, it almost seems simpler because you're not having to okay, you have this money, you need to pay 25% for your utilities and then 75% for your salary. Well, pay yourself, right? Yeah. So that's pretty easy.
Yeah. That's amazing. I know after this, I'm looking into that immediately.
Yeah. There was a client that, she's someone that saw the webinar I did a couple weeks ago, and she's in Nevada, and she did it. And she only got $1,500 a month, but it was $3,500 total. And she was so grateful because she had no other way to get that money,
But and it's more than zero.
Exactly. It's more than zero.
All the girls at the salon, because we're independent contractors, and because, the stimulus checks are, backed up, and the independent contractor unemployment is not available till the 28th. We're at zero right now, and we've been at zero. So
yeah. And as grateful as I know you are for all those, online orders and the product pickup, that's amazing. It's still not paying the rent.
And that's going to the salon. It's not going to us. You know what I mean? Right. So that's going to keep our lights on at the salon, so that when we are able to go back to work, we have a space to go back to work and to welcome back our.
Right. So just apply, and everyone there should apply. And if you know of any other sole proprietors, please, there's a long list of people who didn't know about the loan or didn't get funding in their first round. So just do it.
For sure. I definitely will. Thank you so much for that information. I am going to text the girls immediately after this.
Yeah, and like I've sent a lot of people to Bank Vista, but you can just say, "Hey, I heard of you through Jaimi," and like our community, like what's so cool and awesome about Santa Cruz also makes it a challenge right now. What's so cool is that we have so many businesses here that are self-employed and like entrepreneurs and like go Santa Cruz, and oh wait, we all need this money because we're all self-funded. So how do you get it? Well, if everyone's banking at the local banks, then the local banks are inundated. So you go somewhere that I have a connection with Minnesota, and so that's why I went there, and it was great that they were willing to take somebody from out of state.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and California just is just very, very populated, and rightfully so because it's beautiful. So it was great to be able to rely on another state to help with funding. So take advantage of the connections and do that.
Will do.
Is there anything else you'd want to add about what you do, or any advice you want to give to our listeners, or how we can find you? What's your Instagram and what's your website?
Yeah. So I did want to just add a little something, and I think that this is why we ended up talking in the first place, is because I did my little Instagram story about supporting local and how I understand that we're all should be getting these stimulus checks, and for those of us who are lucky enough to not have to immediately turn around and spend them on bills, I was just trying to inspire the people on my Instagram to think about putting that money back into our community first. And, there are a lot of local businesses here that provide the same products and services that you could find at bigger chains. And just like we've been talking about this whole time, like they just had to do a second round of funding for small businesses because the small business and like small businesses are really hurting right now. And even if you can, the fact that helping a small business is helping families in your community, it actually helps on a more macroeconomic level, because small business makes up, I think, what is it, like 44% of the American economic activity. So, I mean, it goes beyond just, helping to support your community. You know what I mean? Like starting small is the best way to stimulate our economy.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that never has there been a pandemic like this, and never has it started with the service industry. So like the service industry is completely out of the economy, and this is like a new experience for everyone. And to be able to take that stimulus check if you can and give back locally, it's incredible, because you're voting with your dollar when you keep the money into your local community. I mean, yes, we're excited about the stimulus check and the loan repayment programs and all these things for small businesses, but $2.2 trillion was the first round, and small businesses got $350 billion, which is like less than a quarter of the amount of money.
Yeah.
And big companies got bailouts and big companies got funds. And what it shows me is that there's a huge discrepancy and distribution of wealth discrepancy. So like a lot of rich people, and then all of us small business people working really hard, not getting it. And so if we can help to vote for our local companies, I mean, when you're giving dollars to you at Willow and Wolfe, we know that we're keeping the lights on. We know that we're going to be helping you be able to survive and thrive, So I think what you say is so important. Exactly. Yes, we have to give to small businesses. And really, I mean, when this stuff like this happens, like that's who you have to reach out to, who's going to give you that mask? Like it's going to be your neighbor, because guess what? Like the supply chain is not working.
Exactly. For sure. So I definitely just wanted to touch on that, because it is really important to me. And, support your community, support your neighbors, and it's going to create a better effect that way than if you were to go straight to Amazon and buy all your goods. And I know that a lot of people want to get things delivered, and there are a lot of smaller businesses in the area that are doing that. They're doing delivery. I mean, there's Ethos, Capitola, they're doing deliveries of products, and they have all those household products that you could purchase on Amazon. And one, you're not having to ship anything, so that's already better for the environment. And two, their products are more eco-friendly and environmental friendly. So there's ways that we can go about it that are going to benefit our communities, the people in our communities, the families in our communities, and also the earth.
Yeah, and also what's so interesting is that it's really changing the supply chain issue too, because like my brother, was local here for 35 years and moved to Texas recently. And the Fab Labs people, like they're smaller groups that are making like protective equipment, and yet they are being able to get the supplies better than the bigger companies because they order less, but they're able to produce their stuff faster. So you know, all these local companies that you might have thought like, oh, maybe they're a little bit more expensive because the rent in Santa Cruz is way more expensive, you know, than anywhere.
Yes.
One, you're supporting them, but two, you're going to be able to get the stuff so much faster. Like we were able to get hand sanitizer before other people, and now we can sell it because a local person is a rep that was able to like give it to us versus like you said, going through Amazon.
Totally. Exactly.
And Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more money. He's now like one of the richest people in the world. So
yeah, no, we don't need to do that. It's fine.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming onto the show. We so appreciate you being here at Zoom Around Town with Jaimi.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. This was so fun.
Awesome. Well, have a great afternoon, everybody. And until next time, bye-bye.